A place had its own ruins, town its own idiot. Baliwag my town had Porong, Riles my barrio had Inong Isabela. I thought then of Inong Isabela as a cheap source of entertainment. His tales of adventure as part of the gang who buy and sell merchandise in Isabela, one of the northern provinces of the Philippines, amused me. It's funny how he always started his story that became his mantra. Aba, nung nagbibiyahe pa ako sa Isabela, when I'm still doing business in Isabela, that's where he got his Isabela appendage to his name. He rehearsed his stories. But for me, his varied rendition of the same story made it hilarious. People get pissed off with it. For them, it's a stick up to extort money. Knock it off, please. Here's 5 cents and shoot him away. People of Riles had enough of his outrageous escapades in Isabela. His mantra didn't work for me, as I couldn't spare a dime. But he's elated. I always had ears for his stories. People said Inong is a Bible-wielding idiot. When he carried his worn-out book in his sorties, I knew I am his only audience. One day, Inong Isabela invited me to his hut, seduced me for more of his stories. At his isolated hut above the bank of an irrigation canal, too far from the cluster of houses, he stood up from his limping chair, Bible in his hand. I remained seated in the ipil tree beam with kugon grass walling behind me. The leper story which Inong took from the New Testament stuck with me. He's stricken with so much emotion, tinged with conviction, that you'd question, was he an idiot? His voice croaked in a nasal drawl, making me quiver as he reads the passage to me. A man afflicted with leprosy approached Jesus and fell with his face on the ground and begged him, Lord, if you are willing, you can make me clean. Jesus reached out his hand and touched the man. I am willing, he said. Be clean. And the man's leprosy left him. Jesus commanded him, go to the priest, make it known you're cured, so you can get permission to mingle with society again. For a long while, Inong Isabela glared at the sky. He spun around and looked at me. A kernel of tears glistened against his bearded face. I wish to go back, he said. I tinkered. Where? In guttural tone, Inong said, during Jesus' time, they despised the lepers, shunned away with shame and horror, because they are sinners. It took me 15 years to figure out why Inong Isabela gave me that story and why he wished to go back. The leper and he walked the same path. Inong Isabela just gone. My encounter with Inong Isabela reeled back because I am reminded of 3 tele-evangelist famous figures. David Corres of Waco, Texas, who hostages his own parishioner. Jimmy Swaggart with Lusty Flesh. And Jim Baker, who finagled people's money through his PTL shop. Personality-wise, Inong Isabela is an amoeba compared to these people. But he got the purest heart of them all. A ruin to revere for, but a Barrio Idiot.